what's up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to 31 Days of Halloween. Today I am with my sister Hannah, and as you can see we created this sugar skull look. I did use a picture. I will link the Pinterest pin that I used for reference down below. And this is just a tutorial on how to do this for Halloween. So this took about probably an hour and a half to do, but it would be easier if you did it on yourself. But yeah, so this is just going to be a tutorial of me doing Hannah's makeup. So let's get into this video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start off with is the Maybelline New York Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser Primer. This stuff is really good. I'm going to be applying this all over Hannah's face and applying it very lightly on her nose. If you apply too much on your nose, it will separate with your foundation and your foundation won't last as long. Then I'm going to be taking the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation in the shade Light 42. And I'm going to be taking a foundation brush. I'm not sure what these kind of foundation brushes are called, but I got mine at Sally's. And I'm just going to be applying this all over Hannah's face and down her neck and on top of her eyes, all over. And be sure to blend it up your hairline also so that there's no line. You can use a beauty blender with the Kat Von D, but I feel like it applies better with a brush. And just make sure it's all smooth and try to get any streaks out of the foundation. And don't forget to blend down all the way down your neck just to give it a better effect. Then going to take the Tarte, what is this called? The Tarte Concealer, Shape Tape Concealer, gosh I couldn't remember. And I'm going to be putting this under her eyes, on her chin, down her nose, and on her forehead. Then taking a beauty blender, which I got at Avon, which was $2. It's not the best beauty blender in the world, but it works. And I'm just going to be blending out those areas that I just put on her face. It is a bit tricky doing other people's makeup, so if you haven't done it before, just practice. That's basically all it takes is practice for everything that you do. But just be sure to blend everything nice and smooth. Then taking the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Eyeshadow Primer, I'm going to be applying this all over Hannah's eyelids, all the way up to her eyebrows. And this stuff you really don't need a whole lot of. It goes a long way. Trust me, if you put too much, it feels all slimy and then it gets too sticky. So just use a little bit of this. You can get this at Ulta. Basically everything I'm using today you can get at Ulta or Target. Then I'm going to be taking this e.l.f. I think this is an eyeliner pot, and then a unicorn brush that I actually got from Margaret, just like a flat little, almost like a paintbrush. And I'm going to be starting the eyes, the circle parts around the eyes. And I used the blue instead of red as the picture shows, just because I thought it would look a little more mermaidy, I guess you'd say. But I started by circling on top of her eyebrows, and I did fill in her eyebrows with this so that it was completely filled. And you just want to take your time with this because it is a bit tricky to get a full circle on the eye part, just because it's kind of tricky, mostly around the nose area. I found that the most difficult part. But just take your time. You can use a smaller brush if you want, or an eyeliner brush. That would probably help, honestly. But yeah, I really like the e.l.f. eyeliner for this kind of face art. It turned out really well in the end. Then I'm going to fill it in all the way, as you can see, so it's just like a colored circle, and I'm going to repeat the same on her other eyeball. On her other eye. And when you do this, my left one is a little bigger than the right one, so just make it smaller than you'd think and then kind of go from there and make it even. And like I said, I am filling in the entire eye space so that it looks like two big blue circles around her eyes. And filling it in with the same color. Then taking the Urban Decay Electric Palette, and I'm going to be using this top blue shade. I don't remember what that one's called. I will leave it down in the description below. Then the Swamp Queen brush that came with the Swamp Queen palette. I'm just going to be packing in this color all over the blue part that I just placed so that it stays throughout the rest of the look, and if you're doing this, it just sets the cream and it will make your makeup last much longer. Then taking the Tarte Man-Eater eyeliner, I'm going to circle or outline the blue parts that I just put on her eyes, and then we're going to go from there. This eyeliner is like perfect for small details. If you can't afford this, totally fine, you can get some eyeliner from Target. I know e.l.f. has a really good liquid eyeliner. I know the main place that you can get e.l.f. is at Target, although there is one Ulta near me that actually has e.l.f. at Ulta, so just check your local stores and see where you can get it. But just very carefully outlining. You don't want to mess this part up because it is a bit tricky to clean up eyeliner, but just lining both of the circles. I found that around the nose was the hardest part to get straight, just because it's like, you know, not a straight part on your face, so it is a little tricky, but just take your time and it'll turn out good. So you can see I finished that one, and I just did the same on the other side. Now we're going to start making these little, like, flower petals almost all the way around both of the eye circles. So you can see how it's just like little, almost like lace detailing. We're doing that all around it and then filling in the, filling it in, basically. So that it is a pretty, I'm not really sure the technical term for what those are called. We'll just say the little lace bits. Sure, that works. And again, take your time with this because it is a bit tricky, especially with the eyeliner tip. I'm used to it because I used to do nails, so I'm used to having to use a like awkward brush. But after I did that, I repeated the same thing on the other side and I filled it in. And I did realize it is easier if you fill it in as you put the little scallops, rather than putting the scallops and then going back and filling it in. Just a tip. And then I repeated the same thing on the other side of her face, on the other circle. And you can see it's got like little, I'm just going to call it lace detail because that's what it looks like. It reminds me of lace. Then I just took the same e.l.f. Eyeliner pot and the same brush, and I just kind of went back over some of the parts on the blue just to sharpen it up a little bit, mostly around where I put the eyeliner. Then I started making a flower detail on Hannah's chin. I just started off by making the petals. This actually made the look turn out really well. Again, using the same eyeliner and the same brush, just making the flower petals on her chin. I ended up doing just 4 flower petals, but you can totally change it depending on what you want to do. I found mine on Pinterest. There are so many. Me and Hannah had the hardest time deciding on which one we were going to do because there are literally so many sugar skull designs out there. Like, I almost did rainbow and I was like, wait, we need to just calm down and do a simple one. But it ended up turning out really well. Then I'm just kind of filling a little bit on her chin and making it round on the bottom. Then after I did that, I took the Tarte Man-Eater eyeliner and I just started outlining the flower petal parts. I also went back over with the blue just to darken the color a little bit. I didn't go over it with the eyeshadow, the Urban Decay eyeshadow, but you can totally do the same so that it stays longer. But like I said, I'm just outlining the flower petals. And then after I did that, I just made little lines as if like the sunflower in the middle. It looked a little bit like a beard, but you know, it looked good in the end, it's fine. But again, just take your time with this and it'll turn out perfect. Then I just took a little bit of the Kat Von D foundation and I put it all over Hannah's lips to make them kind of disappear. And I also just blended it out a little bit more because I kept smudging it with my fingers or fingerprints all over her face. And do put chapstick on before this. We didn't, but Hannah took it right off, so it didn't matter. But if you don't put chapstick on, your lips will die. Then taking the Tarte Man-Eater eyeliner again, and I'm going to start making the skeleton mouth. You just start by making a line from the outer corner of your lips and going about halfway, depending on which sugar skull you're going for. I went about halfway up to her cheeks, maybe just past it, and made little lines. Then I tried filling in her lip just on the middle part. If you look up a picture, you'll be able to get what I mean. This was the hardest part because Hannah would not stop laughing, and she got it all over her teeth, so her teeth were basically black, so she had to rinse out her mouth halfway. This will definitely be easier if you're doing it on yourself, because you can be really still and not have your little sister laughing the whole time you're trying to do it. So after that, I started doing the nose. You just want to make, well, just look up a picture and find the nose that you want to use. Then I took a black e.l.f. eyeliner in the same kind that I was using earlier and just used that to fill in instead of using the man-eater eyeliner. Then I added 2 swirl designs on the side of her face just to give it a little more detail. There are a lot more like unique and simplistic designs out there. I just did 2 little swirls. I could have done more, but I felt like with the big blue eyes, and then I was going to add another detail on her forehead later, I thought it might be a little too much, but it turned out perfect in the end. Then I just started making the teeth lines on her face, or by her mouth. You don't have to do a specific amount, just to what you want it to look like. And be sure to count how many you did on one side so that it looks even and not all uneven. I don't know what word I was going to try to say there, but who knows. But this one turned out so good. I was so happy. The e.l.f. eyeliner really does work like amazing for doing this, so I definitely recommend. And it's only $3 for a little pot, so that's amazing. And I barely even touched the top, and it's still full, so that's really cool. So there is that done. And now I started making a spider web on Hannah's forehead. I did mess up, so this is part of where I fixed it. I just made a triangle, or not a triangle, a V on her forehead with a line down the middle and then a line in between each of those V's. Granted, it was a little bit crooked, so just take your time with this. Then on the outer side of the spider web, you can see it went about halfway and just drew a straight line. This is just a little extra spiderweb detail. Then, after you do that, you're going to start making little U shapes on each of the triangles. And you want to match them up so that it looks like almost like a continuous wave. Again, look up a picture that you want to try to not copy, but follow for a guide, just so you can make sure that you get the pattern correct. I feel like the spiderweb really put the cherry on top, because it was like, oh, it was pretty, but then I put the spiderweb on, and me and Hannah were both just like, oh, it looks so much better now. This was the easiest part in my opinion, just because, like, I don't know, it didn't take that long, but I feel like it made it look so much better, so that made it easier, I guess you'd say. Kind of. I'm not very good at explaining things, but in my opinion, it was the easiest part and kind of the funnest part. The hardest part was doing that eyeliner on her lips. And you can draw up into the hairline. I did a little bit, not too far, but just adding a little detail. And you can always go back in with some eyeshadow and shade. Then, after that, I put on some mascara and eyelashes. And that is pretty much this look done. Oh, just kidding. I took the Revolution Halloween makeup palette. I don't remember which one this is. I'll link it down below. And I took the black shade and I just put it on the outer corner of her eyelids. This just gave it a little bit more of a shaded effect, and it gave it a little more dimension to the eyeshadow look. Using the same bunny brush, by the way. And then I took some eyelashes. These are just the little half eyelashes that I use. You can get these at Ulta. I think they're like $4.99 each. And I took my eyelash glue and my eyelash tweezers, and I just applied those off camera because, you know, you can find a tutorial on there anywhere. And yeah, that is the end of this look. Let's roll cinematics. Okay guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave it a huge thumbs up. If you guys want to see more tutorials like this, let me know down below in the comments or tag me on my social media of what you guys would want to see. There's still a few more Halloween videos to come, so if you guys enjoyed this and you want to see the rest of the Halloween videos, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. And yeah, I really like how this one turned out. I think this is my favorite tutorial so far. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow in the next Halloween video. Bye! Oh, I can zoom back out now. Yeah, that's good. Oh, we already hit it? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So intro first. These ones are mine? Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they're sugar.
A
Sugar skull.
sugar skull.
Okay. Look straight at it.
Set and squeeze them up right.
What?
I started to yawn.